Hey guys, I haven't been able to work on the car too much, so I thought I'd give kind of just a general update because I have done some small stuff off camera. All right, to start, I have installed the rear end links and the front end links. So for the moment, the suspension is done. I have not driven the car with the end links installed, so I'm really curious to see how this is because replacing the bushings, ball joints, etc. it made such a difference, and the car was so direct and responsive, so I'm excited for that. All right, so the next thing I'm going to show you guys is that the fans turn on now, and whenever I want to start this car, I got to put the key in and then slowly back it out until it turns. I hope the phone picks it up, but the fans are on and they are running right now. Okay, so what I did was I disconnected the radiator fan switch. So the way that works is once the coolant gets to a certain temperature, it will tell the fans to turn on. In these cars, there is a fail safe. So if it's disconnected, the fans automatically turn on all the time, I believe at 100%. So I'm happy that I know the fans work. Now it's trying to diagnose why they don't work. I'm gonna approach this by just getting the low-hanging fruit. So I will test the radiator fan switch, test that sensor. I believe the BGB has the protocol for that, so I'll have to look that up. Just to be safe, I'm gonna check all the relays that are associated with the fans running. I do know that the fans on this car are integrated with the AC system, so the AC system was removed, so I got to figure out how that could possibly impact it. So I will definitely have to look up some schematics and whatnot. And the other thing is I will just bleed the car. I mean, honestly, the car was built really, really poorly. So I don't think it's out of the question that, maybe there's some air left in the system, even if it's just a little bit, that could kind of throw off the readings. So to be honest, I do have a feeling that those things will probably check out. I mean, the car is swapped, so that definitely changes things. With that being said, I'd still rather just hit the low-hanging fruit because I can't tell you how many times I have tried to fix something and completely ignored the basics, and it bit me in the ass. So I'll do that. If that stuff checks out, I will probably just wire up the fans to be run by the ECU. I believe J Dalzell, excuse me if I'm butchering your name, he mentioned doing that, so that seems to be the best route to me, and it's probably what I'll end up doing. All right, the next thing I'm showing you guys is that the seats are missing. I ended up selling them. Oh, as you can see, I've kind of been in here doing some work. Oh, and look at this, my fucking gas pedal fell off. I'm not surprised. Yeah, so I sold the S2000 seats to get bucket seats. I had actually planned on getting a set of Corbos. That fell through for several reasons. So I've been looking at some other bucket seats, used ones, of course. All of those things have been falling through, just couldn't come together on a price, or they didn't fit me well. So right now I was looking at a set of OEM MR2 seats. That fell apart because after a week of waiting, the company told me that, or the company that I was going to get them from told me that turns out they'd already been sold. So that's pretty damn annoying. So I don't know what I'm doing with the seats right now, but I will, honestly, at this point, I'm probably just going to go buy a set of new seats. So I should hopefully have that in the next week and a half, and we're going to see. Yeah, the next thing I'll talk about is the wiring. There's nothing new there. It's still horrendous. I had actually planned on working on it this week, but I work a lot, so we'll see when I get to that. Hopefully next week, but nothing's for certain right now. So I will say it actually feels pretty good. Like I'm making progress in the car, and I could realistically see it being on the track in the next, I don't know, a couple weeks. I mean, like, I know the date keeps getting pushed back, but I guess that always happens with cars. But no, I'm making real progress. I actually have a to-do list, and things are actually getting marked off, which is amazing. So there is one other thing I wanted to talk about today, and that is my future plans for the car. I've always loved the idea of a big turbo MR2, something like 500 wheel horsepower. And I know to do that, I would probably have to cut up the trunk to make room for the intercooler and associated piping. I can't bring myself to do that to my white MR2, but I found something on this car that makes it okay, at least for me. So as you can see here, there's freaking rust, and it was just painted over. Oh, it's everywhere. Normally I'd be really pissed off about that, but I don't like cutting up relatively clean cars. So I knew about the rust in the front. Well, I knew about that once I got the car, and I thought that was the only rust on this car, so I could just cut that out, weld in some new sheet metal, and it would be good to go. I mean, not that it's that easy, because that takes time, but knowing that there's also rust in the trunk, I would feel completely comfortable cutting the car up for the intercooler piping and stuff like that. Okay, so what I'd love to do is a big turbo J series car. Like, I think 500 horsepower in a car like this would be freaking awesome. It'd be a really fun track toy. With that being said, I do have to do a lot of planning, and I also got to figure out how to pay for it. So it's going to be probably 2 or 3 years before that comes to life, but it's what I'm looking forward to. So yeah, it's gonna be awesome. So I would like to say that I have no formal training as a mechanic or anything like that. Everything I know is just hands-on through experience. So I am definitely learning as I'm going through this process. Yeah, my background is actually in kinesiology, so the biomechanics of how the body works, or biomechanics of the body. So, you know, if anyone out there has more knowledge and wisdom and is willing to share that, I'm always open, because I definitely do not know everything. Again, I am just learning as I go. Again, if you have any wisdom, I am totally open to suggestions, because I know I need the help. With that being said, you know, like, comment, subscribe. I mean, this car is going to be kick-ass once I'm done. Thank you.